Samsung has exploded higher plus 9.84% to $340,500, a historic single-session move that demands your attention. In this video we break down what is driving this and what it means. Welcome to MTRS_Market Pulse. It is Wednesday, June 24th, and this is your complete global market briefing. A range-bound session is developing. Equity markets are responding to reports that S&P, NASDAQ futures rise after bruising tech sell-off, Micron earnings on tap, investing.com. Let us start with a quick look at how the major global markets are positioned today. Starting with the major global indices. S&P 500 is down minus 1.44%, trading at $7,365.46. Equity markets are responding to reports that markets recoil in global sell-off driven by tech stocks, the New York Times. NASDAQ 100 made a dramatic move today, plunged minus 3.29% to $29,347. Equity markets are responding to reports that Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ futures rise after chip stock sell-off, YCBRS, PLTR, BLZE, MU, FDX are trending, TradingView. Dow Jones is broadly flat at $51,667, awaiting a fresh catalyst. Equity markets are responding to reports that S&P, NASDAQ futures rise after bruising tech sell-off, Micron earnings on tap, investing.com. DAX dipped minus 0.98% to $24,650. The move follows reports that Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed. FTSE 100 is broadly flat at $10,419, awaiting a fresh catalyst. Equity markets are responding to reports that Trump's tariffs, Fed minutes, rumbles Bitcoin by what's moving markets. Now let us turn to some of the biggest names in global equities. Samsung made a dramatic move today, surged plus 9.84% to $340,500. The HBM supply competition with SK Hynix is the defining story. Samsung needs to close the yield gap to win hyperscaler HBM contracts. Consumer DRAM pricing is recovering as inventory normalizes. Watch for any Nvidia or Google qualification update on Samsung HBM. ASML plunged minus 7.82% to $1,778.46 in a significant session. The EUV monopoly is one of the strongest competitive moats in all of technology. AI chip demand for the most advanced nodes directly benefits ASML without the execution risk of being a chip maker. Watch for any update on the 2026 to 2027 capacity shipment schedule. TSMC made a dramatic move today, plunged minus 6.69% to $436.39. N2 node ramp is the most important near-term catalyst. Demand from Apple, Nvidia, and AMD exceeds current capacity. The geopolitical Taiwan risk is the permanent discount the stock will carry, but the fundamental earnings power is exceptional. Arizona fab progress and US CHIPS Act subsidy clarity are the structural positives. Rocket Lab made a dramatic move today, plunged minus 5.16% to $95.12. Neutron medium-lift rocket development is the key valuation catalyst. Commercial success would dramatically expand the addressable market. Space Systems revenue is a growing, predictable revenue base. The SpaceX IPO narrative creates positive sector sentiment that benefits Rocket Lab. Now let us dig into the macro picture driving these moves. Geopolitical risks remain elevated. The move follows reports that Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed. This is keeping traders cautious and supporting flows into defensive assets. The key macro overlay remains monetary policy. Equity markets are responding to reports that Trump's tariffs, Fed minutes, rumbles Bitcoin by what's moving markets. Any surprise in the rate path could trigger outsized moves. Equity markets are responding to reports that S&P, NASDAQ futures rise after bruising tech sell-off, Micron earnings on tap, investing.com. Turning to commodities. Brent crude dropped sharply to $75.88 per barrel, down 1.56% on the session. The move follows reports that markets recoil in global sell-off driven by tech stocks, the New York Times. WTI crude dropped sharply to $72.02 per barrel, down 1.63% on the session. The move follows reports that markets recoil in global sell-off driven by tech stocks, The New York Times. Natural gas climbed to $3.21, up 1.91% on the session. The move follows reports that Brent rises after US-Iran peace talks in Geneva are abruptly postponed. Gold dipped to $4,086.70 per troy ounce, down 1.05% on the session. Safe haven demand is being supported by reports that gold crashes 24% from record high, loses safe haven appeal. What's driving the sell-off? Trading view. Let us give you our near-term view on Samsung. From a momentum perspective, the next key resistance for Samsung sits around $360,930. A sustained break above that level could attract further institutional buying. The main risk to the upside scenario is a shift in macro conditions or central bank tone. This is our analytical view, always do your own research. In the currency markets, Euro to US dollar is at 1.14, losing 0.67% on the day. Pound sterling to US dollar is at 1.32, losing 0.53% on the day. US dollar to Japanese yen is at 161.73, gaining 0.1% on the day. Currency markets are reacting to Ukraine joins Russia in ruthlessly hammering global tourism as Iran, Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Lebanon, Qatar, Bahrain, Iraq, Syria, and more welcome a cooling Middle East crisis, while the Eastern Europe conflict again shatters travel itineraries and eat travel and tour world. Here is your market watch list heading into the next session. Keep a close eye on central bank speakers and rate commentary, and key economic data releases. Any one of these could be the catalyst that defines the next major directional move. Thousands of investors rely on our daily briefings to cut through the noise. If you are finding value here, please like this video and subscribe. It directly helps us keep producing this content every day. Leave a comment with your market view. We feature the sharpest takes in future videos. That wraps up today's coverage from MTRS_Market Pulse. This content is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Stay disciplined, and we will see you tomorrow. That is your full global market briefing from MTRS_Market Pulse. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily updates.